What bloom are you? Hello everyone, Dr. Rose here in full bloom and welcome to the Rose Garden. We are going to find out today, what bloom are you? We're going to take a personality inventory because the truth of the matter is when you can understand the truth of who you are, that's when all the beauty, the prosperity, the abundance, the joy, the fulfillment in life comes in. So you guys ready to find out what bloom are you?
Yep.
Let's get started. One of the things I want to really reinforce is that there's no such thing as bad blooms or good blooms. There's no right or wrong to this assessment you guys are going to take. So just be open and honest. So how we're going to do this, you guys are each going to take the inventory, and after you're done with the inventory, we're going to total up your score, and then I'm going to tell you guys what that all means, how that relates to you and everything in life, from career to relationship. I mean, this just has so much transferability just across every area of life. So before we find out what bloom these beautiful contestants are today, we're going to find out a little bit about themselves. So I'm going to start with you. I want you to introduce yourself, tell me your age, and some fun fact about yourself.
My name is Greg, and I am 30 years old. And fun fact, I'm a photographer, videographer, and drone pilot.
I'm Gwen, and I'm gonna skip the age question. A fun fact is that I am a third-degree black belt.
Oh, okay. We're going to be nice to her today.
Hello, my name is Oceana. I'm an educator, consultant, and poet. And a fun fact about me is that I was in the marching band for many years, and I played the cymbals.
The cymbals. Yes. Okay.
Hello, I'm Jamel Randall. I'm 40 years old now.
Yes.
Fun fact about me, I guess I teach yoga.
So, guys, you ready to take the assessment? Okay, we have our results. We have the tulip here. We have our beautiful wildflower here, our poppy, and another tulip. We're anchored by tulips here. So, before I even go into the explanations, I'm gonna ask a question and just tell me what comes to mind. So Greg, tell me what you think about your flower.
I mean, it's not really surprising. I was just telling Gwen that I thought I was a poppy, but I was just 1 point off getting the tulip. So, I mean, it's pretty accurate, very analytical and creative.
Yeah, Miss third-degree black belt.
So I'm a wildflower.
What kind of comes to mind when you see all that going on?
I think of variety. I think of creativity. I think of spontaneity. I am not surprised by this. I am the person who will wake up and just say, I need something to do, and I'll go to the airport and I will not know where I'm going. I'll look at the board and I'll say, this looks like a good place. And I'll only pack warm clothes and I'll go. And I'll figure it out along the way.
Okay, wildflower.
So I'm not surprised. But I will say, I'm only 1 point away from being a poppy.
And we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Now we have Oceana, our beautiful poppy.
Yes, I am a poppy, and I guess the words associated with it definitely don't surprise me. Just artistic, expressive, intuitive. I'm a Pisces, so very like feeling a lot of things. So yeah, and I think it's cute. I think it's got a lot of color, and I feel like I'm very like bright and vivacious a lot of the times when I'm in social settings. So it makes sense, I guess.
Makes sense. And last but certainly not least, Jamel.
Tulip.
Tulip.
Yep, the flower looks like me. Straight to the point.
Straight to the point.
Yep.
Straight to the point.
Yep. I thought I was going to be the first row, but I ended up being this tulip here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious.
What's your second highest?
Yeah, the wildflower.
How many points off?
2 points off.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to explain what it all means for you guys. And no one, we have 4. One of the things we agree upon with psychologists is that most people on planet Earth, all 8 billion of people, fall into one of 4 personality types. It really dictates the way we navigate the world, how we view the world. And we have the mums, we have the wildflowers, we have the tulips and the poppies, but we have no mums here. But I'm going to go over all of your personality types, and I still will explain the mom because you guys interact with moms on a daily basis. And maybe as I explain it, it'll make more sense. So we're going to start with the wildflower. And when you think of a wildflower, I purposely chose flowers to depict the 4 personality types that I believe the characteristics of that flower carry. So you even think about a wildflower. Wildflowers they got a lot going on. They grow anywhere. Like if you drive down expressways, you'll see wildflowers on the side of the road. They're very kind of hardy. They are adaptive to their environments, but if they had a catchphrase, wildflowers, it would be variety is the spice of life. Or, as Nike says it, just do it. These are individuals, they're not all about planning. She just said it herself. She'd go to an airport on a whim and just get on a flight.
And I'll go to the airport and I will not know where I'm going.
And this is true wildflower characteristics. These are individuals that thrive best in the world when they don't have restrictions placed on them, when they can kind of do a lot of different things and not be expected to do the same thing over and over again. Routine for a wildflower is like cutting off their air supply. They just don't do very well with that. These are individuals, unfortunately, as kids are oftentimes labeled ADHD, and it doesn't mean they have ADHD. It just means these are not kids equipped to sit in a classroom and sit for 6 hours, raise their hand when they have an answer. These are people who are going to, if they get an answer, they want to blurt it out. In life, wildflowers will change careers. It's not unlikely for them to change careers many times in their lives because for them, again, variety is the spice of life. Then we have our wonderful tulip, and we are anchored. The two men here are tulips. And the reason I chose tulips to best describe that personality type is because you think about tulips, like it's a single flower. That's the only one of all of these flowers I handed out that it's a single flower. They're closed up. It's not a bad thing. Look, I saw Greg's face there. So tulip's catchphrase would be, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Or there's a better way to build a mousetrap. These are our innovators. These are our people that build upon systems. These are ones in a room you'll look at and you think they're not paying you any attention. Sometimes people say that they have resting bee face or they're standoffish, right? It does not mean that. That's how they can come off to people who are not tulips, but that's not necessarily who they are. The reason they come off that way is because tulips have a whole world going on in here that nobody's privy to. And last, we have our poppies. So look at it, that's perfect. That was a perfect, just even reaction for a poppy. So a poppy's catchphrase would be, can't we all just get along? These are our nurturers. These are our lovers. These are the people that wear their heart on the sleeves. These are the first to notice when something's not right with someone, but they're also the first to kind of give their last to others. And they are, look at that face she just made. They are the ones that even if everybody else has given up on a person, they're gonna still hold out hope. Even though all the evidence may prove it's time to really kick them to the curb. The poppy sees the good in everyone. They are loving, they're the romantics, they're the ones that's drawing hearts in the sand. They're out there, save the whales, you know, they are the ones volunteering for causes like we need. And again, we need all these personality types. The one personality type we don't have, first of all, does that sound like you, Oceana?
Absolutely.
Fair enough. Because I'm going to talk about how you all come off to other people too. We haven't gotten there yet, okay? But the one, you're scared. So the one personality type that's not represented here is a mom. And you know, I have tons of other videos on it, but the mom type are the ones who are stable, they're consistent. Their catchphrase would be, don't rock the boat, or if it ain't broke, don't fix it. These are the ones who like structure, they like routine, they like to know what's to be expected of them. They don't like a lot of variety or surprises. Since I'll just segue into how moms may come off to other people, and then we'll go down the line. Sometimes moms come off to other people as being boring, too judgmental, too rigid, not flexible. Again, doesn't mean you're any of those things, but if you're interacting with a person who is not a mom, they could very well see you as that person. So how do you think tulips come off to other folks? Tulips come off to other people as being know-it-all, as being not affectionate enough. Tulips may come, I'm loving the faces as I say all of this stuff. Tulips come off as being too aloof, too aloof. Look, Greg, what's that face?
I'm listening.
He's heard all of it before. He's heard all of it. And I did say know-it-alls and all of that. But tulips are the ones who are just very analytical. They oftentimes come off as loners too, because for tulips, alone time is how they recharge. Tulips are the ones that can go to a restaurant. I've actually gone to restaurants and you've been at a bar by yourself.
Multiple times.
And me too, because I'm a tulip. I'm a tulip. Why wildflower. Yeah. But tulips will take them out on themselves out, and other people may look like the poppy will look at the tulip and say, oh, look at poor Greg over there eating all alone. And Greg says, chilling. And the poppy's thinking like, maybe I should go join him. And Greg's thinking, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't. This is my time. This is my time. So people may see it as what it's not. You understand? Because we're all looking through different lenses. And what the benefit and the beauty of this is when you understand these different types, you no longer have to take stuff personally because you understand his personality. You know, it's not someone who has a personal vendetta against you. It's someone really honoring how they resonate in the world. So tulips, again, all those things that I say you may come off. Has anyone ever accused you guys of that type of stuff?
Yeah, I'm living it right now.
You're living it right now? Yeah.
I just left Thailand by myself.
Oh, for your 40th birthday. And you were all by yourself. That's a long way to go.
Long time.
Wow.
Long way.
Yeah, and you enjoyed it. How about you, Greg? Anything sounds true to what I explained?
Yeah, no, a lot of it. I'm like straight to the point,
Yeah,
real quiet,
but you're quiet, but
always thinking.
always thinking.
It take me a minute to warm up.
Yeah. But once a tulip warms up, talk. You can't shut them up. You can't shut them up. Then we have, I mentioned our poppies and how you guys may come off to other people, may be too naive, gullible. Doesn't mean you're any of those things, okay? But again, when you wear your heart on your sleeve and you're willing to give your last again and again and again, one of the things, even as a psychologist, what I really encourage my poppy clients to do is to don't disregard who you are. It's beautiful being a poppy, but be more discerning of who gets those great qualities of yours, because people will target poppy, especially narcissists. Narcissists will target. Are you okay, honey? No, let me get you. Need a hug right now. Narcissists will target poppies because they know that these are truly the lovers and the nurturers in life, and they want to really take advantage of that. Yeah. Anything you want to say regarding that?
Definitely true. I'm just now in my 30s learning to take that discernment very seriously because I have had a lot of damage happen to me in my life because of people trying to take advantage of my very loving heart.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm moving into realizing a lot of that.
Good for
setting
you.
boundaries.
Boundaries, ding. That's the key word for poppies. One of the things that I even discovered early on in my career is that, and it's different now because therapy is more acceptable to everyone, but when I first started, like, I'm not even kidding, 90% of my clientele were poppies. And it wasn't that they were more emotionally disturbed than the rest of us, but typically they were coming to me because they had been taken so many times, were taken advantage of so many times. And then what happens when that you say, I'm not doing that anymore, but how do you not operate what comes natural to you? So they would come to therapy because now they're trying to not act like a poppy and they're miserable. Because the bottom line is we find fulfillment in life and alignment in life when we truly follow our true personality types, right? And our wildflowers, how do they come off to the world?
Oh no, I'm nervous.
Wildflowers sometimes may be seen as flaky because it's like, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Again, doesn't mean you're any of these things, but wildflowers can be seen as too irresponsible or not serious enough. But the wildflowers are individuals that really love their freedom. So some people just see them as not being stable enough. Doesn't mean that's true. If we had a mom here, I always make the joke that you find a mom to plan your parties, but you find wildflowers to attend it. Because it's like, moms are going to pay attention to every detail, but they're not going to be the ones hanging from the chandelier or with the light shade on their head type of thing. So any thoughts? We're going to have some questions we pulled, but any thoughts before we do that?
So I scored, my two higher scores are Poppy at 16 and Wildflower at 17. So I'm going to guess I'm pretty much both of those.
So that is a great question. I always say if your top score, if your second score from your top score is 1 or 2 points away, you pretty much operate in both of those. Like I said, I'm a tulip and I'm a tulip wildflower because I'm only 1 point from the two of those.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because when you described Poppy, I was like, that sounds a lot like me.
Yeah.
I don't think that most people see me as flaky, but it also might be because I'm a business owner and I have to be more I don't know, have to plan around
Yeah,
employees
yeah.
and things like that. But when you mentioned that wildflowers don't like to plant, I actually love to plant.
You love the plan. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I do. So I feel like
So there's some
I've got
variation.
yeah.
Great. So let me just say this. This is a great observation because we all have a little bit of each personality type within us because you can see nothing scores 0. Even though mom is my lowest, which requires a lot of that, I have some mom qualities to myself. I like to hire moms in my business because I know they're going to definitely pay attention to details. So we all have a little bit, but there's typically one, or as you say, if you're 1 or 2 points away, 2 that you resonate with the most. Go ahead.
But now that you mentioned that, the people who are at the higher levels in my company, they're all moms.
Of course they are.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because they're analytical and they're trustworthy and they're stable and I can go do my thing.
You can go to the airport
Yeah, exactly.
and get on the plane
Exactly.
because you know your business is going to be ran. Yeah.
No, I'm really not gonna say too much because you read me like a book. Like that was perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm just here now. I'm here to listen and learn.
Okay,
for sure.
awesome. What was your second highest, Greg?
It was Poppy.
How many points?
It was 15, so it was 1 off.
1 off. Okay.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
so you guys are very similar in that. So Poppy is similar. You can see a lot
I
of
would
those
agree.
characteristics
Yeah,
as well.
for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. And our one Poppy here.
Yes, I actually had 3 that were only 1 or 2 off, I had the wildflower, the tulip, and the poppy. So that makes sense for me because I feel like I'm very multifaceted in the sense that I do a lot of different career things. Like I work at the University of Michigan as a program manager and educator, and then I'm also an entrepreneur. I own a cafe and gallery, and then I also am a mom and I do poetry, and I just have so many things that I'm a part of. I do short films, I'm just everywhere. So it makes sense that I feel like a little bit of the 3 different types of personalities, and I can definitely see how they could play out in different scenarios. Like when I jump into one, and I'm very good at compartmentalizing and going from one to the other. And I feel like growing up is probably why that happened, because I had to move a lot. I was never in the same school for more than a year. I went to a different city, a different state every year of my life, basically. So that I think forced me to just have to get in where I fit in and switch around my styles of personality in order to just adapt.
And poppies love to make friends. So the fact that you moved around a lot, I'm sure it wasn't hard for you to make new friends.
No.
Not at all. Poppies really thrive when they can be around people. That's how they thrive. Tulip thrive when they can get away from people. So, and it's not again that look at Greg's face. It's not that Greg is antisocial. It's not Jamil is antisocial, but that's how they recharge because you're around people all the time in your profession as a business owner, as a yoga instructor. Going to Thailand by himself was a great way to recharge. Yeah. What are some of your thoughts, Jamil?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because I'm a tulip, but I aspire to be, and I pulled from the wildflower. So I was maybe 2 off of wildflower, but as I look through the traits of the wildflower, these are things that I'm becoming more of as I get older. It's I always wanted to do this. I want to be more adventurous. Spontaneous, I've always been spontaneous, but not spontaneous to jump in the lake, spontaneous to quit a job.
Yeah.
It's that type of spontaneous. Risk taker, same thing. I'm not jumping off of a bridge, put my money into something and risk losing my money.
Yeah.
That's the type of risk taker. As I look at both, it's almost like I can pull the entire wildflower row and put it right at the bottom of tulip and put becoming at the same.
Awesome. The biggest predictor of success in life has less to do with how well you did in school, how much money you make, what your degree, what school you went to. It has everything to do with how well you know yourself, but also how well you know others. And this exercise not only helps you to better understand yourself, but to better understand others. Because like I said, you can stop taking things personally and you can stop from ever trying to change people because everyone has a right to operate life and navigate life in the truth of who they are. You guys ready to pick some questions out?
All right, so my question is, what bloom do you think your parent/caregiver is?
Okay, that's for you.
My parent, so I'll start with my father. We act very much alike, so I would probably say that he is a tulip. And then my mom, I would probably say she is a poppy.
A poppy, wow. Those are opposites.
Yeah.
So my question is, what's your perfect date? And as a wildflower, I could go anyway. So a common question that I get when I start talking to someone or, entertaining someone new is, they'll say, what do you like to do? And I'll say, well, better question is, what do I not like to do? Because there's not much that I don't like to do. I'm down to do...
It's a fun date.
Yeah, I'm down to do pretty much anything that's legal and morally sound. So for me, if I had to pick a perfect date, I would actually prefer for him to surprise me because I like surprises.
Wildflowers love surprises.
Yep.
Moms, if any of you date moms, do not surprise them.
Yeah.
They're not much for surprises, but
So I think I make it easy to date me because I'm not rigid like that. We can do anything. We can wall climb. We can rock climb on a wall. We can go to live music. We can go get dinner, like whatever. But if I had to plan it, I think I would really love to do a picnic. Maybe down, since we're in Detroit at Campus Martius where the movies are playing, we can pack like a really cool little Detroit themed, food situation. After that, maybe we go grab live music over at Motor City Wine.
she's got it all planned.
And then, after that would just be live music, and then that would end. Then we go over to Cliff Bell's and we listen to Ben Sharkey.
Look at your little face. You're like, oh, can I get home?
I was just saying, if the day's going well, you kind of want it to continue, right? So till the 90 day. Yeah, I caught what you did there. I think that I would, in my mind, have certain things lined up, but if it wasn't going well, I wouldn't tell him we were doing all those things so I could jet out.
Okay.
But, if it's going well, we can just keep it going.
Awesome.
My question is, what is your biggest pet peeve? The biggest one is probably when people talk to me without listening to me. Like if I'm talking to somebody and then they make a bunch of assumptions about me, like instead of finding out. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves. And that happens a lot in like dating situations or with men, especially working with men. I feel like, I don't know what it is, but a lot of times I'll be talking and then they'll just like start saying all this stuff about, oh, you need this and this is what, this is all about you. And it's like, really? Because I haven't said any of those things and those are all false assumptions.
They're trying to fix it. Yes, and they're tulip. Then Rachel, I'm messing with you, guys.
Like, sir, I understand myself very well. I don't need to be solved or fixed. You don't know what I need. I know what I need. So yeah, that's like my biggest pet peeve.
What did you dream of becoming when you were younger? Now, this is crazy. I've never dreamt of becoming anything.
Wow.
I've literally never had one of those thoughts where I wanted to be anything, I guess. I've just been kind of figuring it out as I go. I've been this way my whole life. It's the weirdest thing. Real Floyd, so.
But this is so true because a tulip has so many, they know a little bit about a lot of things. So a tulip is taking in information about everything. So when you think about, I know what you do, you know what I do here. I'm a clinical psychologist by trade, but then I open up a meditation studio, which is, kind of goes along, but it doesn't do that. Then I'm an author, then I do this, then I do that. So tulips, it's all about really taking in just knowledge and trying on a lot of different hats. Like that's something tulips really love. And I know like your second is wildflower too. Yeah.
I think it's the wildflower part of me also is where I never want to be boxed in.
Yeah.
And so I think once you decide what you want to be, now you have to become that. And stay that and live up to that. Whereas I like the freedom of like, I want to try this, I want to try that, and I don't like this anymore, so I want to be this now.
Yeah. I love it. So in closing, this has been an amazing discussion. I hope you guys have found, just validated some things you already knew about yourself, but also learned some things about other people in your life that probably is very relevant, because it's not unusual as we do this that people are thinking about what their significant other is, what their child is, what their mother is, best friend, all of that good stuff. But I just want people to get back to the truth of who they are, because I know from my own personal experience as someone who operated for far too long outside of their true personality type, I know how good it feels, how rich it feels, and how life just opens up for you when you align yourself with your true bloom. So thank you guys.